everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're returning, welcome. If you are new, my name is Britt and this is my channel where I talk about my finances, debt payoff, and things like that. I have been very inconsistent in 2023. So my word for 2024, I've decided is consistency in all areas of life, not just YouTube, but I've been pretty inconsistent everywhere. And so today I decided I ordered a budget planner off of Amazon. I didn't order anything super fancy. I have a million planners already in notebooks, but I wanted something that was super straightforward, easy to use. In the few months that I've been on YouTube, I have used a couple of different things for budgeting, but I've looked through this already and this looks like it's going to be exactly what I need. So I'm going to talk about setting up my budget planner, setting up my December budget, and kind of what this year looks like for me and what I hope it looks like next year. So if you are interested in that content, stay tuned. So jumping right into the planner, as far as accessories, I almost got lost in the sauce, which is to say, like, I almost felt like I needed to be super fancy to come back. I needed to already have like backdrops and my candles and set and things like that. And then, I realized that that was just showing up as another opportunity or another place for me to spend, which I'll talk a little bit about like what I've learned as far as like my spending habits and things go this year. And so I said the most important thing was just to get the video out. So that is what I'm going to do. So again, I got this planner on Amazon. It was like $9 or something like that. So not super expensive, but it's pink and it's cute and it matches literally everything else in my office. So it's perfect. And I will link this planner down below if you're interested. I do have a personal planner. I use a Hobonichi, which I have over in the corner. So this is just like clearly, but it's just specifically for my budgeting. And that's not to say that this is the only planner I'm going to use this year, but I thought it was going to be a good start to kind of get me in the process again. So this is what it looks like. So the first page, it talks about my financial goals. So I've already started filling a couple of things out. I don't think anything is super personal, so I don't mind sharing those. And I do want to do a video talking about like my goals for 2024, but just as like a sneak peek, my husband is going to need a new car soon. So saving for that. We have a car note with my car. We don't want another car note, so we're going to save up to buy that one in cash, building up our emergency fund, paying off my student loans, start saving it on a down payment for a home, regularly implementing no spend months and budget for gifting. When I mention gifting, I'm talking like charities, nonprofits, people on the street. Just when I'm scrolling on Facebook and a Facebook friend needs, they're raising money to get a cheer uniform for their daughter, I like to give to, stuff like that just randomly, but I want to make sure that it's budgeted for so that I'm not led by my emotions by how much I give. I know I have this much budgeted to give out for the month and then I can dole it out appropriately. And then my financial strategy, actions to earn more money, and then actions to cut expenses. I think I'm going to save this for my other video. Actions to earn more money. I actually need a chance to kind of think about that because both my husband and I are on a salary. So there is no like work more hours because it is what it is. There is no overtime. And then there's a couple of savings trackers. So like, what are you saving for? How much do you need? How much do you need it by? And then we'll be able to keep track of it. So we have a couple of things we want to do this year. And then, like I said, like saving for a down payment for a home. So that will go there as well. Debt tracker will go here as well. I'm going to do an update on my debt going into 2024 because it's been about 8 months since my original like debt video. So we can fill all of that in at that time as well. But the same thing, like what the name is, what your starting balance is, what your minimum payments are, and then just keeping track of like when you paid it and how much is left. I have paid off about 4 things since March. So I'm feeling really good about that. My car is my biggest expense, which sucks, but you do what you have to do, I suppose. And so here is my page for my December budget. So this will be, I'm so glad I'm just now filling this out because I was going to fill it out earlier and I almost put December 2024 and that would have been a horrible way to start a brand new planner. That would have stressed me out. So I'm glad I'm just doing this now. So just go December 2023 and let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. See if that's better to see. Okay, perfect. So like I mentioned, my husband and I are both on salary, and so his payday is every other Friday, minus the 15th and the end of the month, and then how much we are paid does not vary. I always count the final check from the month before when I do these, so that would be 11/30. Income, B's job. I have about 20% of my check put into a savings account already, and so I don't count that when I do my actual budget. I just put like what I have coming into the actual account. So it is $2,103. The next check will actually be the day after, which is the 1st, and that will be my husband's check, and it is $1,500. So I consider those to be our first checks of December, specifically because normally the 30th check I use to pay rent for December. So I always count that one. So it might be a little bit wonky. Let me know what you guys do. But since my first check of the month is technically not until the 15th, I just shift it back one. So the next date after that would be, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's already December. The 15th, which means actually the both of us will be getting paid at the same time, which happens sometimes, but rarely. So 12/15, I'll just put double pay. And then let me just do the math for this really quickly. So that'll be 36/03. And then after that, oh, interesting. It looks like it'll be another double pay on the 29th. And like I mentioned, normally I do the final check of the month going into the next month. So I'm not going to put the 29th here because I'm going to count that as our first January check. So total income for the month will be $7,206. Perfect. Okay. So let's talk about some of the bills that we have now. In my previous video, I mentioned that we recently moved. When I first started this channel, we were living in an area that wasn't the best, and so our rent was incredibly cheap. Now that we have moved to a new place, in a better area, it's closer to my husband's job versus a 25-minute job. Now we live about 8 minutes from his job. So because of that, our rent is up because it will go up when you move to nicer areas. Okay, so bills. I'm going to go ahead and fill out this calendar really quickly with the month of December, and then I will be right back. Okay, stops at 30. Obviously there's 31, but it's a holiday and it's a Sunday, so I mean, it doesn't count, so we'll just leave it at that. So I have filled in for the month of December. Make them assumptions, clearly not your forte. Clearly don't be fucking, you've been fucking liars. Thought that I should let you know. So on the 1st, we have our rent is due. On the 3rd, we have our phone bill. The 4th, our internet. On the 6th, my car insurance. On the 12th, Hulu comes out. On the 14th, we have our energy bill and our renter's insurance. On the 15th is my car note. On the 16th is my credit card. On the 26th is a rental payment for Peloton. On the 27th is my other credit card. And then on the 30th, we have our water bill and our DTE bill. So generally for some of these bills, I end up paying them earlier, like in the first half of the month. And then the last half of the month is a little bit lighter. Just because I have the leftover, and a lot of our bills like in the second half of the month are lower cost. So as we go through the month, I can kind of like when I do my weekly updates, let you guys know what that looks like. But these are the dates that our bills are due. The only thing that's missing from here is Spotify. So I need to log on and figure out when Spotify is due. But other than that, that is everything here. We use my parents' like Disney Plus and stuff like that, so we don't have to pay for those, thank goodness. So these are the things that are regular. And then when we get into the budget, we'll talk about a couple of things that are brand new that are not necessarily like bills, but they're just like one-time expenses, especially with Christmas around the corner. So let's get into our actual budget and the numbers. So our rent is, I think I actually ended up overpaying our rent twice, and our landlord was like, hey, you paid too much, and she sent the money back. So thank goodness she is a bomb landlord. But our rent is $18.50. And then actual is $18.50. Our electricity is $146. Our water bill, the first month was $20, last month was $35. So I think I put on here, yeah, it was $37.89. So I'm gonna budget. I'll just round it up and budget for 40, and then it does have the side where I can put like what it actually was. So we just moved into this place in September, so it's going to take us, I think, a little bit to get like an average of what it should normally be. So I'm just going to round up. For gas or energy, it is $130. The bill is $136, but then they charge you $299 for payment, so it's $138.99 per month. $138.99. So maybe I should do. No, I'll just leave it like that. Phone is $287.99. Heating and gas are together, so that's already accounted for. But it does say TV, so I guess I can put my Hulu there. Hulu just, yeah, okay, I can put Hulu there. So Hulu, I am paying $33. Maintenance, we do not have any maintenance or anything that we pay right now because it's the winter time in Michigan and it's snowing. So my husband will take, like salt and things out there. We do have someone that comes and cuts the grass. He was cutting our grass at the other place, and we're still within 20 minutes. So he was able to come and cut our grass here as well. So I think because I know that that's an expense that's coming up in the summertime, in January, I'm probably going to start putting away for it. So that way, I would really like to just pay him up front for the season. He's really reliable. He comes exactly when he says he's going to come and does a great job, communicates. We don't even have to be home. He'll just go right in the back and cut. So I think I want to pay him up front for the whole season and just have that be an expense that's already taken care of. And then waste removal, we do not pay for. Okay. Insurance, that's health. Okay, so let's jump down here to transportation. My car payment is $758.52, but again, they charge $595 to make a payment. So I'm going to put that as $764.50. 47. I'm thinking about opening like multiple accounts. So there's like a bill account and then having like my car payment and my car insurance that goes in one so that it can be on auto pay so that I can get that $6 back. Like I know it's not like a huge deal, but it's money that doesn't go towards interest or principal or anything. It's literally just paying them to like pay for the car. And that annoys me. So I think I'm going to set up a separate account and then have it on auto pay. I just don't want that much auto paying out of our regular account, especially because I've only had the car for a couple of months. And so I don't know necessarily like, I just don't want any flubs. That's a lot of money. So I'm going to put it in another account. Fuel, I don't go anywhere. I have acting classes on Thursdays and then sometime my husband and I will go out. But I filled my gas tank up November 3rd and I still do not need gas. So my gas cost, I fill up for 40 and then that lasts me for weeks and weeks. I think I still have about half a tank, so I probably won't even need to fill up until around Christmas time. And then my husband, he works 8 minutes from the house. And so he spends about $40 every 2 weeks. So I will budget for now $100 for gas. And then at the end of the year, I will do like a total of what we've actually spent on gas so I can get like a better average. But for now, I will put it at 100. That was a long way to just say $100. Insurance. My car insurance is $252.17. They're the worst. They charge an extra $14.95 to make a payment. So that's exactly why I need to put these on auto pay, because that's an extra $20 per month. That's just based like with cars. That's not going towards any kind of like payment or principal. That's just paying them to pay a bill, which is ridiculous. And so, so including the money to pay the bill for my car insurance, the total is $267.12. Car maintenance. I got my first oil change on the car and it ended up being about $120, and I will need another oil change in about 5,000 miles, which I don't know when that's going to be because like I said, I don't go anywhere, but it was about $120. I don't necessarily think I need to put it way $120 per month. It's a brand new car. It doesn't even have 20,000 miles on it just yet, but I know that saving for maintenance is probably a good idea, especially because I know that I'm going to have to get maintenance at 20,000 miles. So I guess I can budget like $50 a month for now, and then, or I guess just for the month of December, and then I can always like reevaluate after that. Train, bus, taxi, no ma'am. Health insurance, I'm on my husband's health insurance because the health insurance at my job sucks and it automatically comes out of his paycheck. So I don't even count that as an expense because it doesn't even hit our account. And that includes, medical and dental and vision. Hobbies, dates, trips, movies, games. So let's do a subtotal first. I'm looking over to see if I'm missing anything. I am. So household internet. We pay, So for internet, we pay $90 a month with Xfinity. Water, I think, is already included. Yeah, water, sewer, renter's insurance is not on here, so we'll do renter's insurance. And that is $30.42. And then credit cards. Okay. So I have 2 credit cards. The minimum on both of them is $30. I think they both have a balance right now of about $250. So I'm actually considering just paying one of them off this month and then paying the other one off next month. And then they'll be at $0. I keep saying that and I keep getting really nervous to do it. I don't know why, but I feel like that's the smartest thing to do. So I'm just gonna put the minimum on here for now, and then when we do like weekly check-ins, I can kind of decide and fill in on like what we're doing. So, credit cards, 30 and 41, so $71 a month in credit cards. Gym, I do have a gym membership. It's $33. And then I also have, I probably should have just added it in. Peloton is 126. I think I've talked to you guys about Peloton before and kind of what my thoughts are. Like I'm thinking about, I should have done it during Black Friday when there were so many deals, but I was really trying to avoid spending money on Black Friday. But my thought was rather than paying this 126 per month for a $2,000 bike, that I would send it back and then take $300 and buy a spin bike, especially because I have a gym membership. But I will not be using the gym membership very often for a couple of months, specifically because Michigan winters are deadly and I'm a California girl. And so me bundling up to go to the gym of all places is not happening. So I'm really kind of leaning towards, sending back the Peloton and then getting like one that I can just pay off. And then that'll be 120 per month. That's back in my pocket, but I'm not sure. For this month, hair care, I shaved my head in September. And so my hair products are lasting very long because I have a very, very short little curly do going now. So I am not going to need to buy shampoo or conditioner or anything for a very long time. And I'm not going to get my hair cut or anything right now because I'm growing it out. So I'm just wearing like wraps and stuff like that in the meantime. I might just, if I can, I might go like to an African shop and get my hair braided for Christmas. I'm not 100% sure. So I'm going to put this as no. I'm not even going to add it. And then if I decide, then I can always adjust my budget. Personal care, I just stocked up on personal care, so I don't need anything this month. And then clothing, I'm going to put nothing. We do need some winter clothes, but it is Christmas. And so we're holding off on doing any shopping for ourselves in the meantime, because, you have no idea what the other person has purchased for you. And so we're holding off for now. And then in January or after Christmas, then we'll reevaluate and see if we need anything. We don't have any personal loans. Hobbies, I am stocked up on all my hobby things. I I spend a lot of money on books, and as a result, I have a lot of books that I need to read. So my goal for 2024 is just actually to work through my TBR. We'll see, because books are always coming out and they always sound good. Like I pre-ordered the second book to Iron Flame, what's that for? Fourth Wing. And I was like, yeah, I pre-ordered it in July because I figured by the time November got here, I would have finished Fourth Wing. I've read like 10 pages of Fourth Wing. So I have another book like that too. It's like a magic fantasy book or whatever. And I got the first and the second one because I was like, I'm going to blow through these. I haven't even touched those yet. And I bought those in June. So I don't need any hobby things right now. Dates and trips. So this one is going to be kind of weird for December, and I'm not really sure how to budget for that. So my baby brother, he's a teenager, but my baby brother and then my mother-in-law are coming for Christmas, and they're going to be staying with us. And so my mother-in-law is staying until 2 or 3 days after Christmas, and then my little brother is staying until the day after New Year's. And so our food budget and our like trip hangout kind of budget is going to be much different than normal, because I know my husband is going to want to pay for everything for everyone while they're here. Bane of my this is my little brother's short. It's mom, I won't be mean. So it's going to be much higher than normal. So I'm going to go through and tally up all of these subtotals and then kind of decide what I want to do from there. So let me do that very quickly. So the subtotal for house bills is $2,616.40. For transportation, we're looking at a subtotal of $1,181.59. For personal, we are looking at $159. Okay, so if we add the three of those together, oh, and then plus the 71. For credit cards, we're looking at $4,027.99. So I'll just pop that up here. $4,027.99. Mind you guys, that's just that's not including our final two paychecks in December. So we have another $3,000 on the final day of December. But like I said, I put that directly towards the next month. So we're not going to count that. So that leaves us with $7,206, which is where's that here. So total income $7,206. Subtract 4,027.99. That leaves us with three. Let me put this down here. Left over. That looks like a 40. Left over, we have $3,178.01 left over for the rest of the month. So between food, hobbies, and savings, like I said, I have 20% of my check that goes into savings automatically. So I do not count that towards anything. So that's already about $500 per month that is going into savings. My goal for 2024 is definitely to build up our emergency fund and to build up our savings in general. We have not done a great job of that. We've pulled out of our savings for frivolous reasons multiple times this year. And so my goal is to have that somewhere untouchable, but also to be more intentional about how much we put away. That might end up looking like me updating how much goes into my bank account automatically directly from my paycheck so that I don't have to touch anything. But then I'm always concerned about making sure, that we have enough to pay what we need. So I'll have to give that some thought. But that will leave us with $3,178 up until the 20th, so between the 15th and the 29th. So I am struggling with what to do. I know that we're going to need groceries. My husband and I normally do about $150 in groceries a week between the two of us. And then, like I said, my mother-in-law is a vegetarian and she doesn't eat like a whole lot. So our food bill is not going to grow significantly for her. But my little brother is 15. He's in the 10th grade and he can eat. So we're going to be eating out, and then we're also going to be, buying groceries and things like that. So I feel like I should budget about $1,000 for food. For groceries specifically, and then maybe budget like $700 for eating out. I'm just thinking, like, if my husband is insistent on paying for all four, depending on where we go, like even if that's like $20 a person, that's still $80 to $100 per meal. And if we eat out 5 or 6 times, that's, $600-$700. So maybe I'll budget another $1,000 for restaurant and takeout, and then we can't spend $2,000 on food. So I'm just trying to figure out like what makes sense without having to. Yeah. So maybe I'll budget another $1,000, and then maybe we'll try to spend more on groceries so there's more at the house, and then every outing does not need to be a meal. I think will make the most sense. So yeah, I'll budget $1,000 and then we'll aim to actually keep it under 500, but we'll have that money set aside just in case. And then, like I said, my brother will be here until after January. So there's another paycheck that comes in that's not accounted for. So we'll be stocked and we'll be fine and everyone will be fed. So we'll have a $2,000 total here, which should leave us with $1,178.01. So movies and things like that, hanging out. Movies, I know we're going to see Aquaman. I don't know if we're going to do that while they're here, all four of us, or if we're going to go just the two of us after they leave. But if we go while they're here, that's about $40 for movies. I'm not going to count snacks. I can put that under the eating out category, like I'll take from over here. So I'm thinking, yeah, $40 for movies. I know she wants to go ice skating and a couple things, and those are pretty low cost. And then we're not the only ones here. Like her whole family is here, like her mom and sisters and nieces and nephews and things like that. So there's also going to be a lot of just like hanging out at her sister's house and stuff like that. And then my little brother is so satisfied just with video games. So I think he'll be fine if we don't go do like a whole bunch of stuff. So I think for movies, I will budget 40. And then for trips, dates, and hanging out and stuff, I think budgeting about 300 should be fine, which would put us at a subtotal of 340 equals, that will leave us with $838.01. You know what? I'm gonna 4001. I'm so sick of that penny. Okay, so we'll leave us, ignore the penny. It'll leave us with $838 altogether. So for that, 600 of that is going towards miscellaneous Christmas stuff. We'll say 600, which will leave us with 238. Might just throw that 238 in the savings because we have a few things that we're trying to save for. I think that sounds good. Okay. So then up here, you can see savings, the date, savings, and the amount. So I'm just going to put 238 in savings and the date of the last check. So 12/15, 238. Oops. Savings. Just put like an A. And then $238. And so that will, then I can take my cash envelopes and then I can break down that 238 a little bit further when I'm ready to do that. I just won't break that down now because I still need to narrow down like what we're saving for during the month. And so the last thing that I want to do is look at both sides. Just to make sure I have everything. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit. There we go. All right. So just quick recap. Total income, if you can see, $7,206. Our total budgeted is everything except for 238. So that would be 7206. Minus 238. So that means we budgeted $6,968. I'll write that here at the bottom. Oh, I already forgot what that number is. $6,968. Actual and different, so I won't do that until the end of the month. So that is what we are dealing with, what we're working with for the month of December. Once we get into the month, I will be doing some daily expenses. We're going to try and prep for a no spend January. So I'll be uploading some guidelines and I'm going to try and catalog everything that I own, which should be straight chaos, but a whole lot of fun. So yeah, this is our final budget. We'll do weekly check-ins and see how we're doing, where we can go through and like check off what we've paid, what we haven't paid, highlight, what's overpaid, underpaid, and just kind of get ready for December. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you are having a great start to your week, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.